Hey guys, so for this video, I'm going to rank the top 10 builders in the world. I recently made a video about the best players from each season, and you guys absolutely loved it. So I thought, why not make a different one about the current 10 best builders in the game. These rankings are going to be a combination of how good these players are in wagers, competitive, as well as just free building, and how creative their builds are. Before we start, I need you guys to remember, this is all for entertainment. I'll probably leave out some amazing unknown builders, and I might include some people you don't agree with. In the end though, it's all for the sake of making an interesting video. So with that in mind, let's start with the number 10 spot, FaZe Mongrel. You guys should all know who Mongrel is by now, and how insane of a builder and overall player he is. Whether he's doing difficult retakes, or tunneling and creating a mini earthquake on his desk, the kid has it all when it comes to building. I think the most impressive thing about Mongrel as a builder is that he's always been at the top and ahead of the meta. For example, he was one of the first people to actually use cones in build fights when most other people and pros had them unbinded. The crazier part is that he's still one of the best builders in the world in Season 11. While many of the OG greats like Myth, Ninja, and Hamlins have fallen off in terms of building, Mongrel has only gotten faster and better. However, there are a few flashier and more dominant wager players we need to get to, which is why he only takes the 10th spot here. Coming in at number 9 is Misfits Clix. Clix is far from the flashiest or most advanced builders. What he is though, is one of the quickest and most dominant wager players in the world. I can't remember the last time I saw Clix lose a wager or get outclassed during a 1v1. Even against clown boys like Zane Season, Clix's building alone allows him to consistently come out on top. Now, the two things that gave Clix extra points were his 1v1 start, which is arguably the most effective 1v1 start in the world, and then how good he is as a competitive solo player. There's a reason he was able to qualify for the World Cup 5 times, and place well in the solo cash cups like the one from last week that he placed second in. That reason is his top tier building mechanics and building IQ. 8th on my list is Parallel Kenny's. Kenny's is a controller player on PC and is easily one of the smoothest builders I've ever watched. He's also the first builder I'll cover that can do all the insanely flashy and advanced techniques I often make fun of. While they may not be useful in game, you just can't deny how amazing it is to watch and how hard it is to pull off yourself. What really impresses me about Kenny's though, is that he doesn't look like a controller player. And I don't mean that in a negative way, I just mean that everything about his building and gameplay in general is beautifully consistent and sleek. There's never a random flick or choppiness in what he does. He's essentially the perfect example of a smooth builder from my smooth vs fast building video. All in all, Kenny's smoothness, combined with his perfect movement on controller, makes him one of the most mesmerizing builders in Fortnite and very deserving of his spot on my list. Number 7 goes to none other than Liquid Stretch. On top of being a top tier competitive player, Stretch is without a doubt one of the fastest and cleanest builders out there. Just like his teammate Booga, he's one of the few players that can be both fast and smooth when he chooses to. This is a result of him playing on a pretty low sense of 46 EDPI, and of course, whipping his mouse around like an animal. I personally love watching Stretch because he's not too flashy or too simple. Everything he does or builds is done with a purpose. Plus, the dude builds with default keybinds. You know those F keys all the way at the top of your keyboard that you've never used before? Yeah, he uses those to build, and he presses them all with one finger. If that's not impressive or just plain old crazy to think about, then I don't know what is. Either way, Stretch is one incredible builder. He's just not flashy enough to get a higher spot on my list. Next up is KNGJ, who actually inspired me to make this video. You guys might know Jay as the kid the Fortnite guy is always promoting in his community tab. But jokes aside, this kid is a superb builder. He's fast, he's smooth, he's flashy, and he's smart. Even when he's pulling off one of those over-the-top retakes I could only dream of doing, he's not doing it for show. He knows exactly how and when to use those advanced moves in both wagers and in real games. That's why the best part about Jay is that he's also a world-class competitive player. Jay qualified once for the World Cup in duos, and has already qualified for the squad FNCS finals. So for all you creative warriors out there looking to translate your skills into real matches, Jay is evidence that your creative skills may help a lot more than you think. Since we're on the topic of creative warriors, fifth up is Parallel Flyer. Flyer takes all those advanced building techniques I've talked about to a completely different level. Whether he's chaining together different cone jumps or landing the impossible jump onto a cone, I'm always left in awe while watching him. Furthermore, not only can the man beat other top tier builders in 1v1s, but he can do it in style and make it look easy. I feel like people tend to overlook how difficult a lot of what he and other creative warriors do simply because of how easy they make it look. But if one of us were to try it ourselves, the result would not be pretty. That's why I decided to rank Flyer so high, even though I don't think he plays competitively at all. Remember, this video is about the best and most talented builders, which Flyer is undoubtedly one of. At the number 4 spot, we have Moki. Moki is a 13-year-old girl from Sweden, and before you leave some dumb comment saying,
"Jerian, you only included her because she's a girl,"
stop what you're doing and just watch. Moki is the definition of cracked. Between her retakes, edits, and everything else she does while building, I can barely keep up or process what she's doing half the time. On top of that, she's recently started to place very highly in competitive. She came top 30 in the 2 most recent solo cups and 50th in the first squad FNCS for EU. Considering how difficult that region is and how little competitive experience she had before, I can almost guarantee we'll see her at the top of the leaderboards in the next coming months. So no, she's not a good builder for a girl. She's an insane builder for anyone. Coming in at number 3 is the man on the thumbnail, FaZe Sway. Sway is the first person that comes to mind when most people think of fast and advanced building, and that's not for no reason. Sway helped popularize many well-known retakes and building tricks we all use during 1v1s today. He also helped grow creative free building and push the boundaries on what's possible to do while building. But the thing that really amazes me about Sway is that he's on controller. On keyboard and mouse, you have different binds for each build, as well as a separate mouse to aim with. Then there's Sway, who can build faster and more precisely than all of us with a default PS4 controller. That's absurd to think about, and is why Sway will always be regarded as a top builder. Now, you're probably wondering, who could possibly be above Sway? If he's at number 3, you're telling me there are 2 better builders? Yes? Yes, I am. The second spot on my list belongs to arguably the smoothest builder in the world, Parallel Beats. Not the guy who does the cool ramp rushes, that's Beaks. I'm talking about Beats with a T. This is the guy who almost looks like he floats through his builds. That's how polished and crisp his movement is. If I had to sum Beats up, I'd say Beats is an artist and building is his canvas. And I know that's cringe, but there's no other way to describe how amazing his building is. He can consistently pull off retakes and building combos that I honestly don't think anyone else can. And that includes all the other great builders I've talked about already. Straight up, his building is so advanced, I have to put him in a league of his own. The only problem is that he's technically a creative warrior. So going off our ranking system, he doesn't get any bonus points from utilizing his skills in competitive. If he did though, he'd easily take my number 1 spot. However, he does not. That's why the number 1 best builder in the world belongs to Landjock. Lanjak is a keyboard and mouse player from NA West that has the complete package when it comes to building. The man can easily do advanced retakes you only see from Sway and can beat the best wager players in the world. Whenever I ask pro players who the best creative or 1v1 players are, Lanjak is always at the top of their lists. What really separates him from everyone else though, is how well he can use his skills in real matches. Lanjak qualified for the World Cup in duos on NA East, and almost qualified on NA West as well. In solos and trios, he also consistently places highly and has since the summer skirmish last year. So in my opinion, and based on my metrics of how good they are at free building, at 1v1s or wagers, and competitively, Lanjak tops the charts in all three, and therefore is first in my rankings. Overall boys, that's my list for the top 10 builders in Fortnite. Please go easy on me in the comments, as this video was for entertainment purposes only. But if you felt like I left someone out, let me know down below and I'll be sure to read it. So if you enjoyed the video, then do be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Also, shout out to everyone using code Jerian. I feel like I say that in every video, but I truly do mean it. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.